Hi, I'm Jay Major, paramedic with Medstar Ambulance and Race Rescue Team LLC. My father and I have been involved with race rescue for the past 30+ years. We're here today to share with you some of the experiences we've had in the past, hopefully to help you make racing safer in your area.
As a driver as well as a promoter, you see both sides of it, and you know, I've actually been in some pretty bad crashes, and to have a good, strong safety crew there that knows what they're doing and comes in and handles the situation the way it needs to be handled, I think is very important, and probably one of the most important aspects of what we do as far as our entire sport.
You know, we race all over the country, and you know, we got, you know, there's different safety guys, but you know, a lot of them hadn't been trained, you know, how to get a guy out of a sprint car, and you know, today there's a lot of guys running different seats in their race cars, and different quick releases on the steering, and you actually got to know how to get a guy out of the race car. There's just so many different you know, deals in the race car that guys got to know, and you know, you got the fuel pump in the race car, and you can get a fire started real easy. So it's nice to know if you got the right guys getting you out of the car.
Whenever I come to a racetrack that I've been to forever or a new one, I always look around, go to the infield, see if they've got fire extinguishers, who they have, and what they have for as equipment and personnel, because as a driver, you want that peace of mind. You know, if you get upside down and you're on fire, you want to know that every part of the racetrack is covered, and you want to know that if you are upside and can't get out, you want to be put out before you burn up. And actually, the things that you do, I'm very impressed with, because you're on the spot every time we've ever seen you come out.
Well, we expect them to have a lot of knowledge, and we expect them to have the proper, you know, equipment and tools, and especially with sprint cars, to put out methanol alcohol. I think that's a concern a lot of places we go if we don't travel with the Outlaws, maybe do some local shows, that maybe they have fire extinguishers and things like that, but they're not ready to put out the type of fuel that we have as opposed to what they're used to. But you know, as a promoter, I have high expectations, because I think I have the best fire safety crew in the country practically, because I have the Knoxville fire crew and Jay Major's crew out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota being there too. So as a driver, I know that if someone gets hurt or injured at my place, you know, things do happen, and I know that I've done my best as a promoter to hopefully give them the safest place they can race. But you know, a lot of promoters, especially on a weekly deal, they're you know, they're looking at pennies, not just dollars, looking at pennies to survive. So one thing they can cut out is, you know, a fire safety crew. You know, they think, nobody will ever get hurt here, and you hear horror stories. You know, you got to be ready for it anytime, anywhere. And as a promoter, I do my best to make sure we are. But you know, as a driver, you do rely on these promoters to have that, and it's one of those things. It's like talking about getting injured or death happening or something like that. Nobody wants to talk about it. They want to stick their head in the sand. So you know, as a driver, you know, whether they're, you know, superstitious or whatever, it's something you don't like to talk about, but you know, I do as a promoter, and I pay attention to it more than other guys, and I complain sometimes about it, and you know, sometimes you get someone to listen and sometimes you don't. So we expect that, you know, especially at Outlaw shows, hopefully they have the best fire crew available in the area, and a lot of places they don't, and it's kind of scary. So you know, I've seen it happen even at you know, tracks like Houston, and I've seen Jay and his gang, you know, save a lot of people's butts. So it means a lot to me, and I think more than anything, it means a lot to my family, knowing there's a great safety crew there.
Can't emphasize enough the importance of learning of what methanol fire will do. It's not like a gasoline fire, it's not like an oil fire. It's, you know, sometimes it's transparent where you can't see it. So it's very important for everybody to go out and learn about this. You know, I know that you should be going around to every fire department and explain to them what this is about, because if you're ever at a racetrack and you see a car flip upside down, to the naked eye, sometimes we're on fire and you don't even know it. So it's very important for someone to have the knowledge like you do to help us out.
You get pinned in them race cars sometimes for 5 minutes, and you can't get out, and you got fuel running down over you from the fuel tank, you know, that's cracked, or the fuel cap's leaking or whatever. But and you're hoping you got some experience to come over there and get you out of the race car as fast as they can.
I mean, especially with the World of Outlaw Tour itself, I mean, it is expected, and unfortunately sometimes we get certain areas and we don't see that, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you need to have a safety crew that's professional, understands what they're doing, knows what they got to do when they get there, and like yourself, Jay, I mean, you guys do a great job, and for us the decision was easy to have you guys lined up to come here and handle our event.
Well, I think that, you know, one of the best things that's happened for racing, for us especially, and what we do are these seats, the Butler built or LaJoy or whatever you're using. They have some type of head restraint on each side, and it protects the guys quite a bit. I think that came to be because of our weight rules have went up to where we're not so concerned with weight. But it's also thrown in another, with every action there's a reaction. This is a great thing. I think it's saved a lot of people's lives and a lot of injuries, but now, in case of fire, there's a lot of ways you can get caught up with the guys who wear the Hans devices, guys with, different types of head and neck restraint systems on. They're easily caught up in these seats. If a guy's on fire or knocked out, it's a lot more difficult. If a guy has a spinal cord injury, I think it's a lot more difficult for you guys to get him out of the car. So I don't want to go without the seat, but again, for safety crews, I think it's added another dimension.
I would say you do not want to be caught unprepared in a situation. Unfortunately, in our business, I mean, it's a dangerous business, and bad accidents can happen. Anything can happen, and to be prepared the way you guys are prepared, I think, is very much imperative to what we do and what the promoters do, and for the fans and everybody involved. So I would tell people that you can never underestimate what potentially can happen, and you should always be prepared properly.
I hope you've learned something from this video. If there's anything we can do to help, please contact us.